Hello, it's WumboJeff, and welcome back to Food Processing Simulator, where we had another update. And yeah, my factory looks a lot different. There's also lights on top of the machine, so there's like various things. I'm not going through the patch notes fully, just kind of I remember off the top of my head. But today we're basically redoing the factory. There's space here. I'm kind of just messing around, kind of wanting to keep things fresh and different. So here we go. Now over here, there are these lights. They give status symbols that they're good. Red means they're not good and something needs to be fixed into the machine. So that is good to go. Now if we go over to here, we have new machines. We now have a packer machine for large boxes and a packing machine for medium boxes. Let's go and grab a medium box. I already got some large ones going. So where is it at? Right there. Now if you put down the one with the medium boxes, it can hold up to medium and small items. So we go over here, you can do medium boxes, 24 piece or 6 piece boxes, which is the small boxes. But I think they're about the same. Yeah, they're the same size as the large. So we're going to put this over here for a second and go ahead and grab the large, which I had one over here somewhere, right over here. Yeah, it is a mess. I've been trying to figure out how I want to put my factory together, but now like over here we got the large machine. See, same size, except you'll know the difference because one has an L, one has an M, and obviously the small would have an S. And if you go over to the large machine, it can do large, medium, and small. So in my opinion, even though I think it costs more, yeah, it costs several $100s more, just go with the large. It would definitely save you in the long run, just so you have more options with that machine. So let me go and pack this up, sell you. There you go. Now if we go over to equipment, the box generators, we also have ones for medium and small now as well, so you can just grab a large box. So if I go ahead and get this, we'll just do the large ones because might as well. It's going to be over here somewhere. Box, oh nope, I got a lot of stuff over here. Box generator, go like this, and then go over here, and then we can grab this, and then we have a large box to carry up to 48 items or pick up items, especially if like machines drop an item or something. So there is that. Close you. The frames aren't that great, and you guys want to know why the frames are not that great. My guys have been busy and I have not been doing any orders. Look at all this stuff. Oh my god, I can't even see the board anymore. What happened here? Oh, I thought that was like a cogwheel. I'm like, what the hell happened over here? But yeah, I need to accept some pouch orders for sure because I got way too many products. Also, there is a tutorial screen right over here. You unlock it as you level up your factory, and it'll tell you about each thing, and you can just keep on clicking on through, which is very, very nice. A bunch of quality of life improvements with this update. Also, you don't need to go to the little blue screen, I believe, anymore to do things. If I go over here, like with these machines, I can actually just click on this. I don't have to click on this specific area. And then you can select any employee and then do your thing just by clicking on the machine itself. Also, we have our employees. Our employees got updated. They have a little cogwheel right here. You can actually set their priorities. So say if I want them to do maintenance last, I just put the maintenance right over here, and then it'll switch it out. Or say if I don't want someone doing maintenance at all, just uncheck mark that area. So I'm going to be doing that, I think, with the loading operators eventually, because loading operators, you can actually have them deliver the order or work on the cold storage. I might save like 1 or 2 just to strictly focus on the cold storage instead of doing the delivery orders, or maybe only have 3 do delivery orders and the rest. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what, I might actually have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you only have 4, so I might actually have 1 just focus on the cold storage and stocking up the stuff, but we don't need them doing that right now because look at that. Anyways, that is kind of just a quick overview of some of the things added. Again, shout out to the developers. I had a large box over here because I had a bunch of products fall on the floor, and I was throwing stuff away. But just huge shout out to them for getting this stuff up and running now. What I'm working on here is, it's not efficient. I'm being honest here. I would go over here. Over here is like kale. Over here is arugula. Over here would be cucumbers. Over here would be tomatoes. Now they'd go through here. They would get cut, washed, and dried. And then they would go into a merger machine going on to the next stages that I would need. Now I was going to have them go into a packing machine and just have a bunch of cut dried veggies and then have them take it to the next machine area. But there's a problem with that. And I'm sorry if I'm talking way too much, but I've been thinking about this a long time since the update came out yesterday. That's why the video is kind of late. But the problem with that is when you go into a starter machine for a new area, you can only do sliced, washed, dried, or any. So if I want them to start off in this machine to go to a slicer machine, I have to start it off in any for the commodity stages, I believe. Because this would be if it's sliced, they would only put sliced things in there. Now I wish you could actually have like a raw commodity stage for the raw items as they get delivered. I think that would be very, very useful, and it might be a suggestion I make. Anyways, we're gonna start. We're gonna continue on with what I was doing. Now I just put these merger machines here before I started recording because there were boxing machines, and we're gonna connect this to that. So I'm gonna call it the spider. This spider area is going to connect to each other like so, and this should work out fairly well here. Just go ahead and get it like that, and I'm trying to make it lined up, make everything look nice and neat and nice and organized. Like I said, there's gonna be a walking space in between here. That's perfectly fine. I don't want too big of a mess inside my warehouse. Should I move everything down more, or should I just put the merger machines right here? You know what? Merger machines are going right there. So we'll go ahead and do that. And get that machine right there. And I hope this works out in the future. And then we're going to go over here and do the same thing right there, trying to keep it as organized as possible. There we go. Looking pretty good. Technically, because I wanted to have a little bit of a track going just so I can actually watch the product move. It's just so satisfying to watch. Technically I could move them in further, but you know what, that's okay. I'm just gonna leave it like this, and then I gotta do the same for this side. All right, now here are things where it gets complicated for my brain because my brain just isn't functioning trying to figure this out. I'm gonna bring these out here. I think I'm gonna merge everything, and then it's gonna come over here, conveyor belt going this way, then we're gonna go this way. I'm gonna get filter machines, and it's gonna filter the products, and then it's gonna go into splitter machines, and I'm gonna work on, say, let's do pouches for some items. Some items are gonna do pouches and jars, and I think that's how it's gonna work. This is about to get real messy real quick. Do I have any more merging? Yes, I do, right over there. Let's go ahead and get you, and then for this it's kind of hard to set it up in the middle here. It looks so sad, just because the way the machines are, because they're basically opposite of each other and facing a different direction from each other. I think that'll work. Let's see something here. If I go 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3, they're gonna be right here, right here. So I'll go like that, I guess, because they're technically, you know what, we'll go like that. That'll be fine. Sure, why not? I'm just winging it now because I don't know what I'm doing. So now I just need to get a bunch of conveyor belts, and I also need to order machines. Thankfully I have 190,000 still. Machines, let's go over to conveyor. My frame, I need to sell so many items. My frames are struggling. Let's go over to commodity filters, because I do want to use all the machines the game has to offer right now, even if I find them a little bit confusing. I do want to get them used up. We'll order like, I don't know, 15. Nope, we're ordering a bunch of these. 40 straight conveyor belts. And I don't need as many curves, so we're just gonna go like, I don't know, we'll do 20. There we go. Oh, look at all the items. Nice. Now I almost have it to this back wall. Now here's the where things get complicated with these filter machines. I'm not a fan of the filter machines, but I'm going to use them. Why I'm not a fan, I mentioned this before, but I'm mentioning it again. Here's the filter machine. Now it has an in and out on this side. Over here is the out. So say if I put in here and I say lettuce would go inside the in and it would go out here. Now say if tomatoes went inside here, when it says lettuce, it would go out the failed input or the failed section. Now I wish you could actually select which side goes in, which side goes out, and which side goes failed, because it kind of messes up how I'm going to do this. It does make things really, really complicated here. So if I go over here and I'm wanting to do lettuce, I'm going to have to go like this. It's a little confusing here. It's that one, right? Yeah, so we're going to have to do it like this, I think. So it'd go in here, then it'll go out here, go to maybe like bowls and something else, whatever lettuce does. And then the failed would go over here, and we'll just continue on down to the next set of products. I think I'm going to go in order of products. So I'm going to go ahead and do it like, let's see, like nope, and supplies, I mean. We're going to do lettuce, tomato, bell pepper, cucumber, spinach, kale, arugula, red lettuce. Okay. Sounds like I have a plan here. Okay, so this might look complicated, and it kind of is, because it's doing my head in trying to figure this out. So as we've said before, everything will get merged onto here once it's all cut up and dried and stuff and good to go into the other machines. Over here we got the splitters and the commodities. I only got 2 set up for so far for lettuce and bell peppers. Bell peppers will get painted into pouches and the pickled lettuce in the jars. It would go in this commodity splitter and then go over here, make the jars, make the pouches, and then it will go over here. It will give a label, you know, all the typical stuff, and then it'll go out into this large box machine, making the large 48 count boxes of each product. Now I can't really get here by myself. I saw something that employees can still get to machines even if they look blocked. I guess I'm gonna find out. I'm not a fan of how the machines are set up, because this is looking very messy and it's doing my head in, but that's okay. And then over here's bell pepper. So my plan is I'm gonna just go ahead and get everything set up for machines. Now say if over here, what was I looking at before? Kale. There's kale chips, but there are no kale jars. So when it comes to kale, I'm gonna do kale pouches, and I'll do bottled kale pesto. So I'm mainly gonna be getting the pouches set up for now and stuff like that, and then maybe in the future we'll do jars and do more splitters and stuff. I don't know, my head is driving me crazy right now because I'm trying to get this set up to a boy I will like it. So far it's not looking too bad, but you know what, how many more products do I got? I got 2 done for the pouches, so how many more? Let's see, products. I got 2 done, so 1, 2, 3. I got 3 more lines to set up, and then I should be good to go to sell some orders, hopefully. It is a new day, and my employees are now getting to work, filling up the starter machines. I finished my current lines. Now here it is. Now there is another way that you could do this without using those filter machines in the back. I'll go over it in a second. So here are my lines. We're doing some chips and jarred products. But also the kale, you know how I said it had bottles? I'm just not going to do the B. So for B, I uncheck marked it, so nothing will go out of the B slot, and we'll just be making the pouches for the kale chips. Now everything goes to their packaging machine, gets the label, and then it goes into the boxer machine. That's how you have it set up, right? If I did all this for nothing, I'd be so sad. Yep, dryer, then goes to the packaging machine, then the label, then the the boxing machine. Very nice. Now look at my stuff. It is going on through. Love to see it. I might reorganize what goes into what soon. Also, this is new, so you can actually see how much of each product is inside the starting machine. So there is another way you could do this. I'm trying to get efficient with it. You technically don't need these filter machines with this little setup I got going on. So you could take out this machine alone. You could have it go straight into the commodity machine, and then the failed output would work the same. So anything that's not lettuce would get pushed out the failed output. You can just have it go into the next machine, and so on and so forth. So you technically could have it more compact. Oh no, I'm missing a conveyor belt right there. I'm glad I went over here. I do not have any right now, so let's go to supplies. I did get a couple orders, but none of them are coming today. I can't wait till we get more active projects. So let's go over here and purchase a couple conveyor belts just in case if I need to fix anything. Go over here. Where was it at? Right there. It is so small over here. There we go. And claustrophobic. Okay, so everything should be going over here. Oh no, I messed this up already. Like that. There we go. I already messed it. You know, this is why you run tests, and this is why you see if everything's running smoothly. I do wish you could get the conveyor belts to go a little bit faster, but that's quite all right. We definitely need to get rid of that stuff, but that's why we're kind of running a test right now to see how things are going. Now, here's the thing. I'm only doing these right now because it's the expensive products. In the future, they're supposed to add, I think, things to combine products, like make a lettuce tomato salad and stuff like that. So I'm going to have to move things around eventually. That's also why I didn't fill up the whole warehouse. Over here, I got a bunch of space to test out things. Now, if you're ever wondering how to set up a thing and work and do your own thing, I'm not making sense here, but not always, but you could work back to front. So what I mean by that is start with the packer machine, then go on to the next thing, and then just kind of go from back to front like that. Like if we go look at the product catalog, start with your packer machine, go to your labels, go to your packaging machine jars, and see how it works from that way on and forward instead of working from start to finish. It sometimes does help out a little bit. I kind of thought about that towards the end as well, but I got this done eventually. How are we doing over here? Everything is almost to the filter machine. Now, if this works correctly, lettuce should get split into here, into those two machines. And I hope we get higher tier belts in the future. Yep, lettuce is going in there. Okay. Lettuce. And everything else is getting put out the failed output. Very nice. And yep, here comes the lettuce. The lettuce is getting split into two different sections for pouches and jars. Not saying I'm going to be selling jars. Now, if you don't want to do jars, you can just go ahead and turn off that output right here. Nothing will go out to B because I have the jars set to B right now. I think that's how I have it. Yeah, I kind of was just kind of trying to make everything as consistent as possible, but I could easily do that. Just uncheck mark B if we do not want to make any jarred products, which I might do, or I might just leave it check marked and maybe we'll do like daily orders. I have no idea yet, but here is my layout. I'm just constantly checking to make sure everything is running smoothly. Tomatoes should get split into here. And I think that's spinach. Spinach would go, or kale. Spinach, kale. Making sure the machines are selected correctly. Jars, spinach, kale. Got it. And yep, it's getting split even more. And everything's kind of going okay. The problem is it's not efficient because it goes into here and gets split up. Oh, we're already running out of product. That's all right, because like I said, we're doing a test right now. And is everything getting boxed up? Yeah, everything is getting boxed up. Now for my employees, I already changed some of them. Their focus right now for most of them are commodity suppliers. I only have one that has that main focus of maintaining the machines, and they should be able to get in between the machines here to supply them. And then as for my employees with the docks, I have this one unchecked mark, so he's not gonna Mason is not gonna work on deliveries, but Mason will work on cold storage handling. So he will, I believe, stock up the cold storage. So we'll see how that goes. Oh yeah, some of that spinach, some of that kale, it looks the same. It's just all green. That's all right. And as you can see, they do walk in between the belts, so it's fine if it looks a little bit messy. We're just gonna have to deal with it. I can get one thing in the future though. It would be for merger machines. So if you take a machine apart, everything gets dropped onto the floor, especially if you don't know what's inside it. I like how the starter machines now have the items that are in the machine. It'd be cool if we could get like a little display for the merging machine, just so I would know in the future if I can take this apart or not, which I can't because obviously things are still coming out of it. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and order a bunch more product. We're working on lettuce, tomato, bell pepper, spinach, and kale. It's a good thing that I remember. Just none of these 2 and no cucumbers right now. While I have a second, I actually just want to go through the updates here. Here are the Boxer machine updates where you can do large and medium. I kind of went over that in the beginning of the video and whatnot. The commodity box generator update, other machine updates, so you can actually select the output input. I think that's new. Yeah, they added splitter machine control outputs. You can now configure the splitter machine to use only one output or both outputs, which is very nice. I actually didn't know because this is my first time using those machines. The employee setting information. Each machine's employee settings menu now includes clear descriptions of what the machine can do or settings that will affect. I'll take a look at that in a second. I think that's what that means right there. Tower and light machines only green. Machine is running normally. If the light on top is red, the machine is stopped. If it's blinking orange, the machine is in a special or problematic state. If green also means the problem is not the machine making the machine stop, but if red also means that the problem is making the machine stop. So I'm assuming this is if it runs out of product. The starter machine counter, way to interact with the machine to see the employee settings, which I already went over, and the employee update, which I already went over as well. Cold storage handler delivers boxes from machines to cold storage. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I'm glad I kind of went over this. They also overhauled the behavior for delivering on the pallets and stuff like that. I haven't really gotten a chance to look at. Box size per rack. I'm gonna try to get rid of my current inventory between now and next update or next video and try to clear out the storage so we can only have large boxes and make it look a lot neater. But it's kind of cool seeing the big storage. It's just not good for frames. Box carrier update. The box carrier has been made more efficient to use in daily operations. You can now pick up boxes directly from the ground. Oh, that is something I was hoping for. Awesome. You can take and place boxes in the cold storage using the box carrier without putting it down first. That is something I was really wanting because it was such a pain in the ass using the box carrier. I love that. Improved cold storage fallback area. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to see that right now. It's not happening. You can skip the animation after a few seconds when you fill up big items on your own. Faster trash disposal for box contents. Okay, interesting. Max FOV, level up and lock tutorials I went over, and then there's just a bunch of bug fixes. So you know what? Good on them for all the updates in the recent update. Why aren't my guys filling up the storage? Oh, it's because the boxes aren't full. That's right. Everything is kind of slow at the moment. I'm going to figure out a way to make this a little bit faster. I could... No, that wouldn't work. I was going to say I could do like 8 here, 8 here, 8 here, and 8 here, and do all the stuff and combine it into one track. But I don't think that would work. I think it would clog it up even more. But it's something I have time to figure out probably until the next update for this game. And guys, I think I'm going to be wrapping it up there. Everything else is just pretty much repeat of just selling products, making money. There's not really any more new content. That's why I mainly wanted to show off to you guys today. And I kind of wanted to rework the factory a little bit. I'm so glad I got it done. But I got to figure out a way to make it more efficient. I like the way it looks right now. I might take away the filter machines, like I said, and run it through the commodities and just go through that failed output. It might make it look a little cleaner. But the problem is the belts are so slow, and because the mergers, they work how they're supposed to. Like, as you can see, it goes tomato, lettuce, arugula, kale, spinach, and so on and so forth, because it's evenly splitting everything through the merger, but or evenly merging everything. But the problem is the belts are so slow. These are filling up so slow. But as you can see right here, pickled lettuce chips. So it is working to how I want it. Maybe I'll have to make the boxes smaller for now until I figure out a way to make things a little more efficient. But I do like how it's going. I can just sit here and watch my machines work for me, which is very nice. And I'm going to try to get my storage kind of clear. We'll see. This is a lot of product to go through and sell unless I just trashed a lot of it, which would still take quite a bit of time. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for the support. And until next time, remember to change that world one smile at a time. You never know whose life you can save or change. And as always, I can't wait to see you in that next live stream and/or video. Love you guys.
I try to help you, but you keep reading between the lines. There's nothing there for you to complicate. We're not aligned. You say you listen, but guessing that's just another sign of growing up. You're growing old, your life keep passing by.